live, laugh.
What's up, everybody? This is Daniel, and I'm joined by Steven Meeks, the psychedelic sweetheart from Poppy Mountain,
Kentucky.
Poppy Mountain, Kentucky. And I'm just going to give you a warning. We are going to talk about Tyler Childers on this episode. We're going to talk about the Grateful Dead. We're going to talk about wrestling and all the fun stuff, but we're also going to talk about other stuff as well. So is that a Diet Dr. Pepper? Are you still a Diet Dr. Pepper guy?
This is a full flavor soda because I've been like slacking lately, and it's honestly, you gotta mix a real boy in there every now and then. You gotta love yourself, So it's the strawberries and cream variety.
Okay,
pretty
is
delicious.
It Dr. Pepper though?
Yes, sir.
I would like. You a big red guy?
I get down with Big Red. You don't. That's like a. I'm surprised that you would drop that. I feel like that's more like a Midwestern.
Yeah,
thing.
I pride myself in the ability to kind of know weird region specific
regional sodas,
like regional sodas and like regional gas stations. Like
right.
That's my jam right there.
So what do you know about Ale 8?
Ale 8,
You ever had a late one?
I have. So there's where I used to work in downtown Raleigh. There was a Ace Hardware back behind there, and they had all of the old sodas. So you get your Ace, your L8s, which is kind of like mellow yellow a little bit, right?
I would think it's more like a sweet ginger ale, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it's good though.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah. We sell it at Cracker Barrel, and that's like the only spot I can pick it up locally. Yeah. I'm fine to trade out the L8 for Cheerwine though. Like to be a North Carolina boy now, like an honorary North Carolina guy.
Well, see, North Carolina's also got Pepsi too.
Yeah, that's fun.
So you've got the Pepsi, but you've also got I feel like Pepsi is like everybody's saying that like Taylor Swift is from your town, and then like Cheerwine is saying like, oh yeah, Towns Van Zandt is from my town. Like very specific, like old folk singer soda.
Blaze Foley is from Blaze Foley is from my town. That's funny.
I saw John Prine in concert like the year before he died.
Wow.
And they had Ben Dickey as the opener, and he played Blaze Foley in the Blaze Foley movie. So he's like the honorary Blaze Foley of our generation.
Wow.
So we're already getting things very deep that like people that like wrestling probably don't care about.
They're like, who are these folk singers? Like, sorry.
Yeah, but let me look up. So the last time that you came on our podcast, it was before episode I think 6, and it is not what it is today. So you are one of the few people that actually came on when because the original concept for this podcast was for wrestlers to come on and we watch like a bad pay-per-view, or we watch a pay-per-view that was important to them. So if you go back in the archives, let me scroll down here.
I don't even think the video is public.
Yeah, I don't know if the video, because
I don't think the original.
It's you can listen to it.
Okay.
But your video, I think you had some Wi-Fi errors. So
yeah. Sorry, the Meeks household doesn't get very good Wi-Fi.
But that was January 25th, so that was a long time ago. Steven Meeks is different.
A year ago.
Live, Laugh, Lariat's different, so I think it's about time we brought you back on, kind of catch up. You're killing it. I have to say that I've not worked a show or been to a show where you are not over like Rover. Really.
Wow.
Wherever you go, people seem to really latch on to the character. Like you see the people wearing your shirts at UPW and yeah, man.
I'm super thankful. I feel like for a long time people like I feel like for a long time I was just making it too complicated.
Yeah.
And then lately I've just been being myself. Yeah. And I've been in the ring with some really freaking great people that have taught me how to be myself. And listen, in one of my last matches with James Johnson, I'll just let you I'll just like let you in and let you know that like for some reason my anxiety was just like absolutely through the roof before that had happened, and I felt really bad about the match. But then I ended up watching it back afterwards, and it was like, man, like James really taught me that it's okay to just go out there and be Steven Meeks, because I think I had put a lot of pressure on myself for that match, because I felt like we had like an important story that we needed to tell, if that makes any sense, like with the whole like passing the baton and the hippie thing. And it was like, I was like, man, like James is like he was the hippie of the Carolinas. I come in from West Virginia last year, I guess, and then I start working the Carolinas more often. And then it's like, I heard about his name a lot and blah blah blah. So it's like, I look up to him, and then I had felt like I had let him down, because I felt like I needed to like add more layers into my character or blah blah blah. And then it was just like watching it back and listening to the crowd, and it was like, we told the story we needed to, and it was like, it's okay to just go out there and be Steven Meeks. I don't have to put pressure on myself to like, add all these layers or do all these work rate things. You know what I'm saying? When I can just go out there and interact with the crowd and do what I do.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that was a match that was really cool to see, because I think at one point we first started talking, we were like joking about like you not being the only hippie and like all of this stuff, and it was just kind of like, and here you are, full circle, a year, you're having a match with him. He hands you his vest at the end as like official passing of the torch.
Bro, yeah, I could go get that right now if you want to do a cut edit. Hold on.
For those listening, he just has that 70s show playing in the background, and he's been so kind as to have the subtitles on, so that even though I can't hear what's going on, I still am able to understand what the story is.
I got that stuff on, bro.
For those listening, he's now back. He's wearing the vest. I was just talking about how kind you were that you had that 70s show on, but you made sure that you had the subtitles, so that when you walked away, I knew what was going on.
Bro, no, that's just because I can't hear.
Yeah,
I reading.
I feel like if I'm watching something without subtitles, that I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get 100% of it. Like,
I might as well just be like not watching this. Like, I need to be able to read every word they're saying. Agreed. So,
but yeah, I feel like this means something. I feel like he didn't have to do this. Like he gave this to me, and it really means a lot to me. And you might see Steven Meeks wear it. Yeah. Eventually, I thought about putting it in a shadow box. I know that would be super dorky.
I don't think that would be dorky, dude.
But yeah, I thought about putting it in a shadow box with a photograph.
Yeah, I don't think that would be dorky at all.
Anyways.
But yeah, no, I don't think that's dorky at all. And like, we recently did the Lariat Awards, which are just our way of kind of, it's only people that have been on the podcast. And we had an award called the Good Guy Award, and we couldn't give it we gave it to James Johnson and Mark James. And like, I don't know that people know how good of like a dude James Johnson is.
Oh no. And like, he was super, he was super giving and super kind, and him and Mark James both, I feel like I've really connected with over the last couple months, doing more shows with them. And the goal is just to work more matches with them. I know that there's another, like, I'll just let you know, there is another James Johnson, Steven Meeks match in the works. It just hasn't been like completely confirmed, but in 2024, like, that's looking to happen.
Awesome.
Somewhere in the Charlotte area.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so it's like, just lately I've just been able to have really good matches with like just top-notch people.
Yeah,
like
Victor Andrews.
And sharing the car with Victor, and like, dude, that I had a weekend where I worked a match with Victor Andrews, I worked for School of Morton, and I worked a tag team match with Grant Watts with the Love and War, and that was like a full weekend of wrestling. And I feel like sometimes you just have these, like, you have these trips or these loops or whatever where you just like level up, I guess. Yeah. And it's just like, or you spend time with people, and it's like they say just one thing that just like flips the switch, and it's like, oh wow, like this stuff isn't this stuff is a lot more fun than it is scary, or it's like, maybe, yeah. What else?
I think with wrestling more than anything, there are such small tweaks that you can take that make such a big difference. Like when you're playing football and basketball, it's like almost down to like you have to flick your wrist in a certain way to get the basketball to go in. But with wrestling, it's like, hey, when you're doing this, just wait a minute. Or when you're doing this, look at the crowd, or like all of this stuff that like takes your character, takes the match to another level. And I like, over the course of a weekend having those 3 matches, like it's almost like that would take like months training for like a boxing match or something like that to kind of get that level of knowledge.
Yeah, it's just you get to work with certain people and they just break it down for you in different ways, and it's like another thing too is like, I mean, there's so many different flavors of ice cream, so it's like you just kind of refine your palate, so to speak, like as you grow and you like take certain things that certain people teach you, and it, like I'm super blessed to have been able to wrestle in 6 states already. So it's like, like I feel like regionally wrestling is different,
Of course.
and what the crowd puts up with and what they like what they're gonna bite onto and whatnot. So it's like, I want to wrestle in more markets and continue to learn and grow and hone my craft. And
you mentioned Victor Andrews. You've been getting in the car a lot with him. How hot is that car? Bro,
this dude, listen, Victor Andrews is an android.
I don't think he's human.
Listen, he never, this is the first thing, he never has to pee on the road.
Because he doesn't drink water.
And he doesn't drink water, bro. He is the only healthy person I've met that doesn't drink water. And it makes no sense. And he has me doing these crazy workouts every time I go see him, where I'm throwing this heavy bag around.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I will say this, and you've probably heard this before, but a lot of the boys are scared of Victor Andrews. They're scared to share the ring with Victor Andrews because they're afraid that he's going to blow them up or whatever is going to happen. Like, but listen, I will tell you that Victor Andrews, James Johnson, and Mark James need to be like the 3 final bosses. For all the young North Carolina guys that want to like really do something. Like those are the 3. I haven't got to work one-on-one with Mark James yet, but I've worked in a tag team match I've worked with Mark James and in battle royals and stuff. So it's like shared locker rooms with Mark James. So, and then, being able to say that I've worked Victor Andrews and James Johnson like that means a lot to me, just because, like I said, I really love their work, and, I love them as people and fathers and, wrestlers and professionals.
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff.
All great dudes. Mm-hmm. But have you ever done the Spartan drill, I think it's called, with Victor?
No.
Where you have to do like
the 300 workout.
Yeah. That?
No, I've read it.
He made it.
I used like parts of it in my workout, but I feel like I remember that.
So it was me and Christian went to train with him one day, and Sean Cruz was also there. It was in his his gym at his apartment, and he killed me. Like I thought I was going to die, and like this dude, he was so encouraging and so nice. But he gets down there and he starts doing the rest of them with me, and I was like, "This is not helping."
Oh no, man! It's like, I don't know. I just Uncle Vic is
such a great dude, so giving.
And Sean Cruz is dope too. Steven Meeks versus Sean Cruz is going to happen in 2024 also.
Yeah, you guys, did you have a match with him before?
I have wrestled Sean Cruz at ACW, the Moore County Fair, like.
Was that when he was just coming back, like kind of the underdog?
I think he was like leather pants Sean Cruz, Yeah, he was like,
he's got something to prove for sure, especially this second time around. Um,
I look forward to sharing a ring with him. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a different kid back then too.
Of course.
So I think that our match would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, I agree. So our Spotify raps just both came out today. We both have something in common, and that is Tyler Childers at number 1. What are your thoughts on the new album?
I love it. I love the phone calls and emails. I think that's just a Conway Twitty love letter. Rustin' in the Rain. I think Help Me Through the Night. I love that finally got a studio release.
That is such like a well-written song.
Yeah.
How is it that Chris Christopherson, like I want to hear every song that he's ever written as long as he's not singing it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I feel like who else is like that? I can't really think.
Tom Waits.
Chris Stapleton is like a low-key songwriter. Like he wrote Your Man.
Maybe looking door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I'm trying to think. He wrote a song for Adele too that's like really big. I just can't remember what it is.
Yeah, that's how he started. Yeah.
He's a sneaky, really good songwriter. It's kind of like Pharrell is in like the pop market. Like Pharrell, like he's got Happy, but he's also got his fucking fingers in a lot of popular music.
Weird, like you could tell if it's a Pharrell song because it will like kind of start with like the doom doom.
Yeah,
doom.
the four beats, bro. Yeah, I love. I mean, I don't know if people know this. I mean, I feel like people can tell based off my Instagram stories.
Yeah,
but like I love music. I grew up singing, so I have I feel like I have a weird. I grew up singing barbershop harmony. Like I grew up singing barbershop quartets, so it's like I feel like that gives you a different kind of appreciation or ear for music. So I don't know. I listen to pretty much everything, but obviously big emphasis on like hippie, heady stuff like the Grateful Dead, Tyler Childers, anything that has like influence like that. The Beatles, Acoustic Hookah, be more like obscure.
Oh, that's something I've never heard of. Is that a good good vibe for when you're elevated?
Yeah, they host like festivals called Hookahville. Now, I attended one. It was called Hookahween, and it was just like a big party. And these guys they're a jam band, and they just played. So Acoustic Hookah was supposed to play, but I don't know, for some reason they got up there. And then I don't know if they were too inebriated or what happened, but they got off. And then John Welton and the Awakening played music until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is all like, I mean, it's just like a big old. I don't know if you've ever been to a music festival like that, but it was kind of a crazy experience. But yeah.
Speaking of crazy experiences, are you a Disco Biscuits guy at all?
No, I'm not familiar with the
Disco Biscuits. Biscuits. The guy that introduced me to the Grateful Dead, his name is Chad. I worked at a pizza place with him. He is one of the realest dudes ever. Like, I'm pretty sure if I needed to, he would kill somebody for me. Like, that's how real of a dude Chad is. But he also like grows his own mushrooms.
Wow.
Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Like,
maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he doesn't.
He allegedly.
But yeah. He got me into the Dead. He got me into the jam band and everything. But the Disco Biscuits are his shit. And the Disco Biscuits, I can only describe it as like the only time that I've ever been able to enjoy it is when I am absolutely out of my gourd.
Yeah.
As I would put it. Like there is just some music, but it's like a 4 white dudes making some kind of like jam band EDM music. But sometimes I don't know. We'll have a Disco Biscuits night.
Yeah, I feel like, but I don't really I'm not big on the EDM though.
No, it's trust me.
Okay.
Just trust. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I'm not big on EDM either, but it's like, it's like
experience.
It's like the funky bass lines. It's like the funky like repetitive riffs and like kind of like Fish a little bit. Pigeons playing ping pong.
But I don't. I'm weird. Like I'm like one of the deadheads that doesn't really like Fish.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
you know.
I don't dig. The only time I've enjoyed Fish was a concert he made me watch.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
not
don't.
big on
Yeah.
their sound.
What are your
I
thoughts on Dave Matthews Band?
I would love the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
I love Dave Matthews Band. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I like my thing lately is I love how different my Apple Music
Yeah.
Rewind was from my Spotify Rewind, because I feel like I've only been using Apple Music. Like I randomly got a free subscription,
Yeah.
so like I've only been using it for a couple months, but it's like my Apple Music is more like funk music, like Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder, Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
It's got Tyler Childers in there too, but then you go to my Spotify, it's like all outlaw country.
Yeah.
Like it's so
You
random.
like Volpec?
Yeah, I like Back Pocket.
Yeah.
I like I
Put
love
it in
funky
my
stuff.
pocket. Put it in my pocket. Put it in my back pocket. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love all their stuff.
Yeah. Super.
Have you listened to Scary Pockets?
Scary Pockets? No.
They're like a cover band. They feature like different singers, but they're like the same core band. But so they feature a different vocalist on every track, and they work a lot with David Ryan Harris, who played with John Mayer a lot, and I'm trying to think who else. Like all the popular YouTube vocalists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah. Another, like, if you're looking for something funky, this is a band I found on TikTok. It's the Jeb Bush Orchestra.
Bush.
Jeb Bush, like George Bush's brother, orchestra.
It's just an AI cover of like Jeb Bush music.
No.
Like that's where we're at with the internet.
Yeah, AI was very weird. Like there's some like you have TikTok, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
With TikTok, you can kind of like go down rabbit holes where like you like one video, and next thing you know, it's like your whole feed.
Yeah.
I found like a SpongeBob version of Hamilton the musical, and there is a cover of. Are you familiar at all with Hamilton?
A little bit. My mom and my twin are huge Hamilton fans.
Yeah.
So I'm like around it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah. So there's like this one like this is my entire soul. Here's this song. Like this person is singing. Like it's a very big moment of the show where it's like, and they have one with Patrick Starr singing it, and
Yes.
I swear to God, Patrick Starr sings that with more heart than the person.
There's an AI cover of Patrick Starr singing like a worship song, like a Christian worship song, and I swear it's like, bro, the spirit is like, I'm like, bro, who knew that Patrick Starr was so anointed, bro? Like, to worship. yeah, bro, literally. Like I don't. This dude is Patrick Starr is.
It's a crazy world we live in where it's like people are legitimately worried about the AI stuff, like the artists and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it doesn't really affect like wrestlers because our art is so like based off of our body, I guess. But like it's like a flavor of ice cream thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I personally like to work with other artists and like be creative together, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like and yeah.
So you've talked about we're all over the place on this. We're gonna get back to the wrestling. You talked about like I don't know if we even talked about it, but you've had like I would say since you were last on, the Steven Meeks character has been elevated. It's different. You've been on the road. You've learned a lot of new things. When we first talked to you, you're relatively new. What are some of the stuff that you're studying to get better? Like, what are some of those wrestlers that you're watching? Some of those matches, eras?
Today or yesterday, I watched RVD versus Kurt Angle, and I thought that was a lot of fun. I love Brad Armstrong. I see Chad Gable doing some of his stuff, like the head scissors with the peace sign, and the monkey flip. Like you come up and stand up in the corner and like salute or whatever. Like he hits the thank you and then hits the monkey flip. Like Brad Armstrong, I'm watching a lot of that stuff. I watch a lot of the current product as much as I can, obviously, because that's like, you know, if that's where I want to be, I need to watch what they watch. But like I said, it's cool to notice, like, see people like Chad Gable do the Brad Armstrong stuff, and I'm like, man, I've been thinking about working that stuff in too. and it's like it's almost like confirmation. Like, yeah, like it's cool to use that he and I are obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see. I'm trying to think. I watch a lot of territory wrestling. I love Mid Atlantic stuff and Roddy Piper and Smoky Mountain. Like being like I did a lot of my early training with Bobby Blaze, who's a big Smoky Mountain guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I love that stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Johnny Saint. I feel like he was like one of my biggest like early inspirations to like. I felt like his wrestling style just like aligned so much well with like my character because with the character like it was like a non-violent, like I needed to be like a technical wrestler, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was like a big inspiration for like my early stuff.
Where would you say your character is now? Because the way you said it seemed like your character is different now, which we all know that it is. But where would you say that you are with Steven Meeks now?
I just have a lot of fun doing crowd work, and like I'm a lot more comfortable doing it. I just I've had a lot of matches with great people. Like I write down every match in my phone. Right, everybody gets like a little thing, and I put the promotion, and sometimes I put like a little gold star next to it. Right.
Yeah.
And there are like a handful of people that have gold stars, and it's like not to say that if you didn't get a gold star, that's not like that's necessarily me like talking bad about you. It's just like you got a gold star, that pretty much means that like I really learned something in this match. And those people are pretty much like Sean Denny from January this year, J.R. Miller, Victor Andrews. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I know definitely those three, but it's like having these matches with people where it's like I really feel like I learned something, and it's like wow, I can really put that in my little Batman utility belt, and it's like now like this is like armor. This is like okay, like if I'm ever lost or it's like if I don't know what to do in my match or like my little spot or whatever, it's like this is my bag of tricks.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
You know. So I feel like I just have more stuff. I have more confidence.
Like more muscles, I think. You're jacked.
I like to think I look okay. I mean, after Thanksgiving, I don't know what this next show is going to look like because I ate a lot of turkey and pie and sweet potatoes like everybody else. But yeah, I like to feel like I work pretty hard, in all the aspects of. I feel like pro wrestling is such a layered thing. Like you really got to work on like the cosmetics, the physical aspect of it, the being an athlete portion of it. It's like you hear it all the time, the lifestyle, So
yeah, the lifestyle. So how far in to your careers right now?
I've been working matches for about a year and a half, like going on 2 years. And but I started doing like video content, kind of similar to how Good Guy Bad Pants does, with my local independent wrestling thing through like my through my friend.
To talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Well,
but I was doing like something similar with my local promotion. My friend Casey King.
Yeah.
He kind of broke me in, and then I just kind of honestly almost randomly started training with Bobby and Jillian after I had visited Chance's one time because their school was a lot closer to where I lived, and But yeah, so I've been working matches for about a year and a half, but I've been around the business for like almost 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So where would you say what is the next step for you in your career? Or what are you looking to build upon moving forward? Because it's the end of the year. We're almost in December. 2024 always brings around resolutions. So what are some of your resolutions for 2024?
I just want to continue to learn to hone my craft and keep getting in better shape, and I just want to do right by the professional wrestling business and respect it enough to do the things that I need to do to protect it and and all that good stuff. Have good matches with great people. Like I said, we got Sean Cruz, James Johnson confirmed for next year. I think those are going to be a lot of fun. I would love to wrestle Victor Andrews again. I think the next step, professional development wise, would be being on TV in some capacity, whether it's WWE Extra Work or National Wrestling Alliance. I feel like personally, that's like the goal. National Wrestling Alliance. I just love that product, and I feel like the Steven Meeks character. I mean, my personal goal professionally with Steven Meeks as a brand is I want it to be applicable, and I want it to fit within the confines of whatever wrestling product picks it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to be pretty true to the source material.
Yeah.
You know, like even though I'm out here hugging people and my offense, for the first time ever, somebody told me, they're like, man, your stuff is pretty innovative, you know, like where you're going for the hug and all that good stuff. So it was like continuing to do that and lean into that more and really honestly kind of learn how to do that, if that makes any sense, like where to put it in the matches to where people bite onto it, if that makes any sense. But I think being on TV in some capacity is a goal in 2024. Like trying to put the package together, like, you know, like Steven Meeks has custom gear, he's got custom music, you know, like if you I try to put together a nice little package that you can purchase in my wares. you can book Steven Meeks. You know, he's got. I'm trying to remain confident and continue to put the pieces together and grow and like I said, have good matches with great people and have a good product.
Yeah, let's talk about your merch. Where can people get that? I don't think we mentioned at the top of the.
You can get it wherever I happen to be. I mean, I pretty much happen to be everywhere. North Carolina, West Virginia, now Colorado for some reason.
I love to talk about that as well.
That was a lot of freaking fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Pro Wrestling Tees. Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees, Steven Meeks. And you can hit me up in my DMs. I sell 8x10s and it's, I got the merch table available 24/7. Hit me up.
Yeah, so you are one of the very few people that is fortunate enough to have a Daniel Britton design in your repertoire of T-shirts. So.
Yeah, and I'm a terrible person because I haven't had a Daniel Britton shirt made, but I'll get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this out there. I'm available. I don't really ask much. Look at Mark James. Pretty much any shirt he wears, I've designed it. All I ask, if you want a design, happy to help you out. I just want that in a 3XL. If it was a really good design, make it a crew neck sweatshirt. But get at me. I can't promise that it'll be good, but I'll try. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like mine. I like my acid grab shirt.
Yeah. So. I took a little bit of a big step recently.
You're allowed to put yourself over on your own podcast.
Oh no, I'm a little too elevated.
No, this was irresponsible on our part.
No.
And then we don't have Christian here to like keep it.
Yeah. Well,
damn it.
But so
let's give Roberto an line.
Yeah.
Give Roberto a listen.
I try to for job reasons. I never want to actually say outright anything that might be looked upon in the eyes of the law as being illegal. But I have social anxiety. I a big component of my treatment of anxiety is through, we'll call it
probably say cannabis.
Let's just call it That 70s Show.
That 70s Show.
I use That 70s Show to treat my anxiety. I'm a very awkward person. I mean, it's weird because I'm over here talking to strangers every week, but I overthink everything. So That 70s Show really helps me loosen up.
Yeah, That 70s Show is my favorite I think it's really America's favorite pastime at this point.
Yeah, I agree. But
Screw baseball.
But there has been one time, and I don't remember who it was with, and I'm sure they do. But like, there was a point where that '70s show hit, and boy did it. And I was just like, I have no business being near a microphone right now.
No business being on that ¡70s show.
Yeah. But it's very helpful. Like, we do a Broadway podcast, and
yes, I'm a fan of the Good Guy Bad Pants, Way Off Broadway.
Way Off Broadway. For those who don't know, yes. We did Brutality Inc. last night, and I put myself over on that, and we're finally starting to put ourselves over on these things because
that was one of my first pieces of advice to you guys. Like, whenever we first talked, people got to know what you guys do.
We just start the episode, talk to people, and we don't mention anything about us at all. So I'm starting to kind of plug, but we do Way Off Broadway. The concept of it is Christian's a theater dork. That's rude. He's a theater kid. And he loves musicals. I, before this podcast, never really knew musicals. So each week he picks a musical. We listen to it song by song, and I try to figure out what the musical is about. It's very fun. But without that '70s show, I don't know how fun it would be. For me.
There is a musical episode of that '70s show that I feel like you guys should.
We should cover it. But yeah. So let's talk about that '70s show in relation to your character.
It's true, bro. I freaking love. I love to borrow from pop culture, to what's the polite word? To appropriate things, reference things, and I love to just reference like the Beatles or the Grateful Dead, or like my favorite is my little video template of that '70s show thing where I can set the scene for you and give you my little skit or my promo or whatever.
Your stuff is solid, dude. Like, and that's the thing. I meant to say this earlier is. That is what, as a wrestler, and that's like with anything, is what's going to take you further. Because we're in a time now more than ever where everybody can wrestle. There's so many good schools like Firestar, like Chance Prophet, that are just turning out good wrestlers left and right. You have to find a way to separate yourself from that. Look at Drew Hood, look at Rayhan and Tejas, look at what you're doing with that. A way for people to follow the character from show to show. Because if they're just seeing you in one place, the story is rarely going to be the same. You're going to be a heel here, you're going to be a face there, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that. But if you find a way, which you're really good at doing, of telling that story on a consistent basis, that's how you're going to elevate yourself. And I think you do a really good job of that.
Thank you. I think continuity just especially in just storytelling, it's just like super important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I love to do the little skits. Like, my favorite one is probably the one with Trey Derula, where he like sneaks up to me in my car, and at the Super Jaw, having people like Super Jaw putting my stuff over, and leaving good comments and all that good stuff, and having them be a part of the UPW now is super fun, and trying to do more stuff with them, like with Ace. I don't know. Steven Meeks is available to work the Ace shows.
I don't think there's anybody wanting to wear Ace more than you.
like come on, bro. That would be a lot of fun. I want to be in Winston-Salem more often. I love AML. That would be that's probably another goal for 2024. But yeah.
So 2024, you've got goals. 2023, you cross some things off the list, and that is including flying on a plane.
Yeah.
Well, talk us through your trip to Colorado, what that was like. What did the hippie do in Denver or wherever you were?
I had a lot of freaking fun. Yeah, I went to Denver. I stayed there. I had my first legal That '70s Show experience. That was a lot of
that's the best.
Fun.
That is like the closest thing you could get to like when like I don't know if I should say this. But like,
Probably
as
not.
a married man, like you're no longer living in sin. Like,
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean? Like you're still doing
Yeah.
it, but now
Yeah.
it's okay, and you're not going to
Yeah.
go to hell for it.
No, that's probably the best. That's probably the best way you could have put it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had a freaking blast working for Battleground Pro Wrestling. I had some awesome hospitality from my now, I'll call him my good friend Rob Buster. He's a referee and he works a character called Brokeback Billy. He like works death matches and stuff and whatnot. But he was very kind and hospitable to Steven Meeks during my trip, and I had a lot of fun working with AJ Hero, AJ Sensation.
Yeah.
And I hope to be back. I got to meet. I think that was my second time meeting Ryzen, but it was really cool to meet him just because I love his social media content and I love how he like gives little advice about like how to operate professional wrestling as a business. And I just love his stuff, and I made sure to, put that over whenever I got to meet him. And also being able to meet people. That was the first time I met Gino Told You So.
Yeah.
Who you guys are connected with, and I think I reckon there's somebody else there that was like a Good Guy Bad Pants alum, but I can't.
Oh, Balaam Links or Lobo Loki's now he's Lobo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I must say there is nobody doing social media on wrestling like Gino.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. That dude is posting nonstop content every minute of the day. His merch is like crisp and clean. Like, dude is hustling, and it shows because he's literally everywhere doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know? Have you listened to his episode? It's okay.
No, I'm not familiar. I don't think I.
When he first started wrestling, he had to wrestle under a hood. So he got the cheapest hood he could find, which turned out to be a gimp mask.
Oh no!
So his first ever wrestling, he was wearing a sex mask and like weird sex shop pants.
Yeah, just sponsored Adam and Eve. Sponsored. Yeah. That's wild.
You mentioned deathmatch earlier. Are we ever gonna get deathmatch Meeks?
Listen, there's some fellers out of West Virginia that are doing this promotion called Extreme Independent Wrestling. And so basically, I would consider WrestleRoni the Good Guy Bad Pants of West Virginia. Okay, if that makes sense. Like they're making content for guys and filming promos. Well, now they have their own promotion, called Extreme Independent Wrestling, and Steven Meeks is going to be there on December 15th, if I got that correctly. Hopefully, but maybe. Possibly, I'm not opposed to it. Again, I would love to. I love to spread my wings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like try new stuff.
I'd love to take a light tube to the forehead.
Yeah, maybe one time for the one time. If the story's right, if the I don't know.
So Ace, we had them on like probably a while now. But before Jaden Newman got injured, they were going to have a Colby Carino versus Jaden Newman and a single light tube match where the goal is not to break the light tube. So the person that breaks the light tube first loses, I think. So maybe that's a match for you.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to get around the
Let's talk about let's see. Oh yeah, Bruto Bob Evans, your trips to American Excellence Wrestling. I know that you had to go up there with Victor. Yeah, what is your kind of relationship like with Bob Evans? I know that you guys had done some sessions as well.
Yeah, I was a subscriber to the Wrestle Life once upon a time, and I love Brutal Bob Evans. I think he's a freaking like gem of the wrestling business. Like I put over Ryzen, put over Bob for the same reasons. Like I love how he provides knowledge to younger wrestlers about how to go about this the right way and be be like respectful to the business, and also like this is how you make your money. Like, you know, put carloads together and you know, travel together and network and be professional, wash your gear, you know, be respectful in the locker room, and
always have a towel.
Yeah, always have a towel for modesty and whatnot, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Invest in quality merch. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I've been like gaining and losing things all night long. What were we were talking about Bruno Bob, the towel.
The towel.
I don't. It's gone.
Muy importante.
Yeah.
The towel.
Yeah. Steven Meeks, I must say, big proponent of the towel. Like,
yeah.
That's from personal experience, and I appreciate that.
Personal experience. What kind of personal experience are you talking
I've shared locker rooms with you. You always have a towel.
Yeah.
I think it was something you came up to me and you were like, "Oh, I'm so glad the women's match got their gear on, so that I don't look like a nerd for having
my first."
Is that a thing? Like at wrestling shows, you don't want to be the first person with gear on?
I feel like usually I am the first person that gets dressed.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've like not like really been put down for it, but been like, oh man, like what are you doing, bro? Like we got 3 hours. Like what's going on here? I'm like, man, I'm just excited.
You gotta get in the zone. Like
yeah, bro. I gotta be Steven Meeks.
Yeah. Steven Meeks is the cheeks. That's a shirt. Steven Meeks got clapping Meeks,
cheeks.
Steven Cheeks.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but yeah, I mean, I rock the peach. I rock the peach shirt, the peach crop top with the fringe. And yeah, people have speculated on the significance of the peach, and you know, I would say whatever you think about it, you're probably correct. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a big Allman Brothers fan. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's a big
I like the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, I do too.
As much as the next guy.
Yeah.
Your first concert. Wow.
Yeah. It sucked. I wasn't old enough to like enjoy it. Like you have Derek Trucks and Warren Hayes on guitar.
Warren Hayes, yes, sir.
Yeah, like it was just like a killer, like one Dwayne Allman away. Like if like
doesn't Warren Hayes play in Government Mule?
Yeah, he is. He's like, yeah, it's his band.
Yes, sir. Okay, see, I know things.
Yep. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're good. Like,
you know Brad, like UPW Brad the wrestling guy on Instagram.
Yeah, Brad, love Brad.
Bro, you and Brad had a conversation where y'all proceeded to blow my mind and introduce me to this band called the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh yeah, you had no idea. George Harrison.
I've never heard of this band. George Harrison. Who else? Not Bob Dylan.
No, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty.
Yes.
And one more other person. It might have been Bob Dylan.
I don't know, but yeah. So these like it's. I think about it like who is that? The Highwaymen.
Oh yeah.
Cash. So it's like these like fantasy super bands. That was so funny. But
Speaking of Highwaymen, one of my favorite AIs is SpongeBob, where they did the Highwaymen song. But yeah, traveling. It was Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty. Jeff Lynne is from ELO, I think.
Yeah,
dude, you want to talk about a band that's underrated? ELO,
Electric Light.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, sir.
Just like the stuff they're putting out, like it's hard to compare it to anything. Like it was just, it's just really
That's hilarious.
I love, Traveling Wilburys. Shout out Brad, the wrestling guy. If you ever need good guy bad pants, there's a good chance Brad might be with us. So,
oh, dude, I freaking love Brad.
Yeah,
he's so much fun.
Oh, we got Mobile Meeks. Well, I was going to say this earlier.
Plug my phone in.
Do you think that there's a wrestler out there that talks in the third person more than you?
Listen, I don't try to, like. I try not to be annoying about it. I feel like some guys that's like
it fits your character. I think.
Yeah, I feel like I'm when I do it, it's more of like an introspective
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
Yeah.
in like the royal
Mm.
context, or like sometimes I refer to it as like a spiritual context,
Yeah.
like we, like being me and the Father. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It depends on the context of whatever we're doing, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do more so, is like add layers to the character, and
Yeah.
like, like be more transparent, and yeah, create more art through
Yeah.
wrestling. Like wrestling is like my muse, and I mean, there's a lot of, as like one of the more recent things that I've been like appropriating has been this film called Jesus Revolution.
Okay.
Like basically the story of the film is so in line with my character, because it's like it it compares like it tells a story about how in the 70s there was like this big revival in the
Uh-huh.
West Coast, and it was like parallel with like hippie culture. So like, uh, and the substances and the That 70s Show isms that,
Yeah.
go along with that culture. And people, basically it told this story where this guy was experimenting with hippie culture, and there was this hippie pastor called Lonnie Frisbee. And now like the aesthetic of his character is something that I hope to like, reflect
Yeah.
forward myself, just because like that movie really touched me, and it
Mhm.
influenced it continues to like influence my character. That's like with the new logo that I just put out, the little
Uh-huh.
"Me Loves You"
Yeah.
gimmick, which was the face. The reference was a photo that you took.
Yeah. I think it's just down below.
Yeah. So, uh, but yeah, I just love that film, and it really touched me. So I hope to, appropriate things from it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
We mentioned it's kind of come up a few times, but you talk about like appropriating and taking things. We had Kevin Kelly on, not trying to brag or anything, like, but he said wrestling is stealing. Like,
yep,
there is nothing like you look at go back all the way to superstar Billy Graham and Hulk Hogan, and like everybody's taking everything from everybody at every time. Find a way to take it and make it your own, which I feel like you're doing in a way that is really cool. The Meeks character. I do also love that your name is so like you can just put an adjective in front of Meeks, and it's just like misbehaving Meeks, or like you can just like put shy Meeks, or like uh clown, or like high, like like all these things you can just put in front of your last name, and it
yeah.
fits.
And that's like, I feel like I'm the only person that gets approached at gimmick tables. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm just some Meeks that live down the road. Do you related to any of them? And it's like, bro, like that's not
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
real last name. I'll tell
Um,
you that Steven Meeks comes from scripture, the meek shall inherit the earth.
yeah.
That's yeah. Anyways,
Oh, me yawned when you started talking about God.
oh yeah, yeah, no,
Uh,
but
no, what was I gonna say? God, sorry, I almost said the GD word, which would be kind of rude.
no, kind of ironic, but
Yeah, golly,
it's okay. I
yeah.
wish Christian was here to keep us both accountable too.
Yeah,
It's
I
okay.
think I think Christian would just be annoyed.
Annoyed.
Yeah, he would just be like, "These two fuckheads."
These
Um, well,
clowns.
I think we've covered a lot of good stuff here,
Yeah,
and I feel like people kind of have a good understanding of what Meeks Stephen Meeks is, and what he's looking to become, and like what kind of value he brings to a card. I had a really like I've lost some really good nuggets. Like this was one hit away from being a really great podcast, like an all time.
yeah.
It's still a good one.
I feel like we definitely. I feel like this is the best of the times that we've tried to do this.
Yeah,
That makes any sense. Because
yeah.
no, there are multiple lost episodes with.
Yeah, we lost last week. It got I don't even know how it happened. Like, but the recording like shorted or something. We've had that happen before. We were recording way off Broadway, and I was watching too much of That 70s Show, so I like laid down on the floor.
Oh no.
I love laying on the floors. Like I think
Yeah.
there's just something nice about like laying on the floor.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what would make this better? If I turned off the lights. So I turned off the lights. One of the light switches controls everything that's over here. So like the laptop, the recording
Oh
base, we
no.
like lost like a lot of stuff of that. So it's happened. It happens with any audio video forum. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't that 70s show and produce media. I don't think
Yeah.
that.
Well, I would say do it responsibly.
Do it
Yeah.
responsibly. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. If if that 70s show is that 70s show, what is heroin?
Uh, I mean, Breaking Bad is obviously what Breaking Bad is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Truckers.
Euphoria. Is that the?
I think Euphoria would be like ecstasy.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Ice Road or Deadliest Catch or Ice Road Truckers. If you ever hear if you ever hear me talk about Ice Road Truckers, something really bad has gone wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Ice Road Truckers is crazy.
Yeah. What's your favorite episode?
It's wild.
But this has been fun. I had like a whole path of where I was going, and it's just gone. Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
No, I just love to come on here and give thanks to you guys. Like I love that we've been able to finally like share locker rooms and stuff together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Good Guy Bad Pants getting put over on social media and
yeah. We're plugging. Watch our vlogs. Steven Meeks was in a vlog a couple weeks back. The traveling pants. You actually came up with the idea of the traveling pants. But But in true Steven Meeks fashion, you had no idea. You don't remember it at all.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I don't be remembering stuff too bad. But yeah, I reckon that's something I probably would have said. Traveling pants, sisterhood of the traveling pants. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
seeing Good Guy Bad Pants like grow into the wrestling business and like it's cool to see other guys like I feel like myself. I was like an early adopter.
Yeah, you were.
You know, and
I think you saw that I commented something about Tyler Childers on your page, like because you know what I think it probably was. It probably was your Wrapped last year.
Maybe.
And so yeah, I think full circle on this day. But yeah, God, what was I gonna say?
But it's just cool to, like I said, to see y'all getting the warm reception from the wrestling community, and you guys help us make good stuff and help us look good, and we get to do fun stuff like come on here and watch that 70s show and have a conversation. And
I'll be vulnerable and honest with you because I feel like this is the kind of pod I have severe anxiety around like imposter syndrome. Like this is an industry where like the people that are involved are giving a lot more than I am. They're giving their bodies, they're giving their time, and it's been a lot of adjustment to kind of, I wouldn't say that we belong there, but it's okay that I'm in this locker room or that we're doing this. It's been tough because it does like, who are we in the grand scheme of things?
I feel the same way, especially like whenever new opportunities arise. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be real honest with you, bro. On the plane ride to Colorado, like I was super emotional because it was like I was like, what am I doing right now? Like, am I qualified to do what I'm about to do? And then I just remember like, he doesn't call those who are qualified, he qualifies those who are called. And then that's just something that I remember that gives me confidence and so I just give thanks to God for the opportunities and for him. He takes such great care of me and I love
every
time. It's a programmed, it's like a Pavlovian response. Like every time you've ever been in church or whatever. But anyway, I'll wrap it up.
I'm a pastor's kid, dude. It's very Pavlovian.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah. But yeah, bro, I'm just super thankful, and like I said, it's cool to see Good Guy Bad Pants get their.
Yeah,
I hate to use this phrase, but get their flowers, and
yeah,
you guys have helped me with. You guys, I mean, not to put too much information out there, but you guys have given me lots of great opportunities through UPW and Super Jaw, working with them, and all that good stuff. Like to know like it's like I have Good Guy Bad Pants and Super Jaw, and UPW is for Steven Meeks. So who is anybody else to be against Steven Meeks?
Yeah.
You know,
I remember
I appreciate you guys, and I give
Yeah.
to you guys, and thanks for believing in Steven Meeks.
Yeah, of course. This is bad timing now, but I remember something I was going to talk to you about. So we just did the Lariatto. We just did the Lariatto Awards, which for those who don't know, Lariatto, if you've ever watched like All Japan or New Japan, like in the 90s, Lariatto is what they would scream when like a big time lariat was hit. So we just thought it was funny. If I had had my way, and looking back, I'm glad I didn't. I would have called them the Panties, the Panty Awards.
Oh man, see, yeah, I don't know how warm the reception would have been about.
Right? It's like, because my thing is like, my form of comedy is taking things that people are like uncomfortable about and just like bringing it out to the open.
Yeah, like here it is for you.
Yeah. But looking back, like we want it to be something to where people are excited to say we got this, or that people are excited to say we're nominated. We want it to be something that means something. And if we had gone with the Panties, I don't think that would have been the case for a lot of people. So it took like 30 minutes of Christian and Mark James being like, I don't know, Daniel. I don't really think that's a good idea. And I was like, but here's why I think. And then finally I was like, okay.
I would have gladly accepted my panty, but I feel like that's not a good marketing decision on my part. But
yeah, there would be edible underwear. It would be the Panties. It would be, it was a joke. This has been great. This is, I don't know when this is going to come out. Well, I might just do like a bingo wheel. We'll just like, so transparency. This Sunday, my wife is being induced for pregnancy. So I don't know how long I'll be out with a baby for. So we're stocking up episodes. So it's just kind of like whoever pays me the most money gets their episode released first.
Yeah, I just want my Daniel Brighton highlight package video.
It's Britain, by the way.
Britain. Oh, see, I've only ever read it. I've never.
Yeah, I don't really put it out there. Yeah, like there's no. It's fine. Like everybody knows. Like it's like the worst kept secret. Like but like there's like a part of paranoid with me is like, everybody at work is gonna find this and they're gonna fire me for being too funny.
No, it's all right. Yeah. You're allowed to be a wrestling fan. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I've told. I'm at the point in life where I'm not afraid to say I'm a wrestling fan. It is annoying having to explain it to people. Oh, I don't know if I told you this story. I have a Raleigh 316 shirt that I got at Raw. Like I wore it to Planet Fitness one time, and the lady behind the counter was like, "Oh, what is that shirt?" And I proceeded to tell her, and she got so disappointed because she thought it was a Christian thing. And so she found out that it wasn't about God and it was about Stone Cold. So she's like behind the counter and I'm explaining. I was like, well, there's a guy named Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Like her face is just deflated.
Yeah. And I was like, he was in King of the Ring and he was going up. He was
like, bro, I feel like that needs to be like a traveling pants skit. Like,
right. It was just like one of the many moments where I was just like, I should have just lied.
Like, yeah. Peace be with you.
Yeah. Speaking of peace be with you, and also with you, and also with your spirit now, the Catholics have changed it up over the years. This has been great. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did you enjoy yourself?
That was fun. Yeah.
I'm excited. I feel like you've had a pretty big glow up since our last episode.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to still be here. I mean, like I said, I'm just super. I say it every time. I'm just happy to be here, and I feel like in a lot of ways I mean, maybe it's part of like the same imposter syndrome, but it's just like I'm just super thankful, and I hope to love people through wrestling. And
for me, it's like people haven't realized that I'm a fraud. It's just like,
yeah,
I'm still fooling them. But yeah,
no, I agree. It's just I'm super fortunate, and I just hope to continue to love people through wrestling, and yeah, keep getting awesome opportunities and hugging the world and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Before we go, December 17th, you and Grant Watts, Love and War, which we should have, if Christian were here, we would have talked about. We still technically can. But
can.
A really cool tag team that like kind of came together like on a whim, but you guys have done some really cool stuff to kind of build that story. You guys are facing the top shooters on December 17th. How are you guys preparing for that match? How are you guys doing as far as the tag team goes? Is Grant still kind of giving you the cold shoulder?
No, I think Grant Watts is coming around, bro. And I'm not going to give too much information away, but this might be the last time that Love and War gets the tag team for a while. So I think we're just going to go in there and I'm going to be Steven Meeks and he's going to be Grant Watts and we're going to have a freaking blast. And maybe Grant Watts is ready to do a little like psychedelic style wrestling, you know. Maybe he's
dose him.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Grant Watts being straight edge. You know, I would never.
That's right. Yeah,
I would never dose Grant Watts, but I will say that maybe he's come around. You know, I feel like maybe, like you said, maybe Steven Meeks has grown up enough to where Grant Watts you will abide and feels comfortable abiding in Meeks a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think this might be the last time Steven Meeks and Grant Watts gets tagged for a couple months, and I just hope we have a great time. And I hate that. I mean, I wish Trey Derula would have given us that freaking hug. I mean, how cinematic was it whenever? How cinematic was it whenever Codename Flex hugged Love and War? I mean, how cool? How much cooler would it have been if Trey Derula hadn't snubbed us on the hug?
Yeah,
and it's like, bro. When it comes to a hug, I'm a habit. And I'm telling you what, Trey Derula, Maurice Moss, they finna get hugged and all that good stuff.
Yeah. December 17th, a stacked card. Cruel versus Null.
Suicide versus Jackson Drake. I mean,
Rhino and Heath versus Brutality Inc. And that's not even all of it.
That's just the freaking top of
I have a feeling things are just getting started with UPW too. So you don't want to miss this match. You don't want to miss this card. You don't want to miss anything UPW is doing. But thank you so much for coming on. Check out Steven Meeks. He's in a lot more places than he used to be. So he'll be around. He'll be around soon, I hope.
I want to be in WrestleCade. I feel like I didn't even get to go to WrestleCade this year, but I feel like I had post WrestleCade depression. Just because I was like, oh man, all my friends are getting my friends get to love on each other and have all this fun and make all this cool content and meet all their heroes. And I'm like, dang, like Steven Meeks should be there loving on some people. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Steven Meeks loves people, and that's just what we're here to do. That's
on God.
What it is. On God. You know, nobody believed in us, but God did. So that's it. That's
how we'll end it. Thank you, dude.